Welcome to the UGC lecture series. This is the EPG Pathashala lecture series on the subject of computer science, and we are talking about the paper data structures, and in this module we will be talking about binary search trees. In the previous module also we were talking about binary search trees. In this module we will be discussing the important operations of binary search trees. Initially we start with traversals, then go into insertion and a very interesting operation deletion, which we have to do lot of balancing of the tree, not balancing, reorganization of the tree to maintain the search tree property. So, that is what we are going to see in this module. These are the people who are responsible for the creation of this module. Now, let us look at the learning objectives. So, basically we are looking at just illustrate the different types of binary search tree traversals, just to tell you that those traversals like binary tree is also applicable for binary search trees. The last module we stressed on in-order traversal, that is the most important traversal for binary search tree, but still we will just look at the other traversals also. Then we discuss the construction of binary search trees, which is the insertion and construction, we will discuss it together. Then we discuss the insertion into binary search trees, as I already told you. Then we will explain deletion from binary search trees. So, these are the important objectives of this module, and the keywords we use are binary search trees, insertion and deletion. So, this is an example of a binary search tree. We will be using this example to explain the three traversals. As we already told you, the binary search tree traversal is the same as a binary tree traversal, nothing different, except that remember the organization of the data is different. Now, let us first go to pre-order traversal. In pre-order traversal, what do? You process the node, process the left subtree, process the right subtree. So, first you process the root node, which is 23, then you have to process the left subtree. When you process the left subtree, you have to process its node, which is 14, then you have to process its left subtree, which is 7, and you actually have to process the left subtree of 7, which is now null. So, you go and process the right subtree, which is 12. So, after you process 7 and 12, you have processed the left subtree of 14. So, you try to process the right subtree of 14, which is null. So, now you have finished processing the left subtree of 23. So, you now have to, you have finished 23, you have processed the left subtree of 23. Now, you go to the right subtree of 23, where you have to first process the root node of the right subtree, which is 67. Then you have to process the left subtree of 67, which is 34. Then you try to process the left subtree, does not exist, right subtree does not exist. So, now you have finished processing the left subtree of 67. Now, you go to the right subtree of 67, where the root node is 89, you process that, you try to go to the left, it is not there. So, you go to the right. So, I am just quickly telling you the process that we followed for pre-order traversal. Now, similarly, you have post-order traversal. In post-order traversal, remember you have to process the left subtree, process the right subtree and then process the node. So, here again you go to you start with 23, 23 you do not process, you have to process the left subtree, go to the left subtree of 23, 14, you should not process that, you have to process the left subtree of 14, which is 7. If 7 had a left subtree, you would have had to process this, but you do not have a left subtree, so you process 7. So, you start no sorry, you cannot process 7, you have to process the you have to process the right subtree. So, left subtree is not there, you process the right subtree. So, 12, then you process the node 7, then after you finish that you have finished the left subtree of 14, you have to process the right subtree, does not exist. So, you process 14. Now, when you come to 23, you have processed the left, you cannot process 23, you have to process the right subtree. So, go to 67 rooted tree. In 67, you should not process 67, you have to process this left subtree. So, you process 34. In 67, you finish the left, you have to go to the right. So, you go to 89, but you should not process 89, go to the left, does not exist, go to right 90 and so on. So, this is the way it is processed. So, this is the post order traversal. Then you have the in order traversal. In order traversal of a binary search tree produces a ascending sequence. So, here again you process the this is the in order traversal, which you have already seen, just for thing you process the left subtree, process the node and process the right subtree. So, you start with 7, then you it does not have a left subtree, that is why it comes 7 first, then you process the root node and so on. So, this is the way you process 12, you process 14 and so on, that is what will happen. Remember, an in order traversal of a binary search tree, not any tree, any binary tree, binary search tree will give you the ascending sequence. Okay. Now, because we are talking about ascending sequence, we also talk about descending sequence. So, this is normally not what we talk about in a binary tree. This is special to a binary search tree, where we process the right subtree, process the node and process the left subtree. If you do that, the same traversal, you will get the descending sequence. You will get the binary search tree if you process using the right node left traversal, that is you first process right, then process left, then process the node. If you do in that way, you will get the descending sequence. So, this is just because something called descending sequence is defined for the binary search tree because of the organization of data. So, that is as far as the traversals is concerned. Now, we will go to the main part of this module, which is the construction, insertion into a binary search tree and the deletion from a binary search tree. So, let us look at a construction of a binary search tree. So, we have to, here we have to answer how to build and maintain binary search trees. You have to do insertion and deletion, those are the main operations. So, and you have to maintain the key property, that is you have to maintain the property that the left subtree is always lesser than the root and the right subtree is always greater than the root, and the smaller values are in the left subtree otherwise, and the larger values and the right subtree. So, that property you have to maintain. Now, if the tree is empty, that is the base case, you have to create a empty node and put it as a root of the tree. And the recursive cases, if the key is less than the root's value, add it to the left subtree. There again you have to go and check the property. If it is greater, then you add it to the right subtree. So, that is the property, the recursive case of the construction. So, all the binary search tree insertion take place at a leaf of a leaf like node. That is, you have to go and find a place where you have to put this node, and that will always be a leaf. And leaf like node is a node that has only one null subtree, at least one subtree. And the construction of a binary search tree, the basic idea is to add an element E. You have to find the node n, that should be E's parent, and set R's children to be a new node containing E. So, what you have to do when you are trying to find or insert an element into a tree, you first have to find a node into which to which this element can be added as a child. So, that means you have to find the parent, the possible parent of E, or the parent of E, and then add as that node node n's child this element, which side depends on the value. To find the parent, so finding a parent is a major operation in the construction or insertion in a binary search tree. So, if a smaller if the element is smaller, examine the left, examine the left subtree. If it is greater, examine the right subtree. If we hit a dead end, then that is the we have done with, and we found the node where we want to insert. So, that is the idea. So, you find a parent n. If E is less than n, you go to the left subtree. If E is greater than n, go to the right subtree. If you find that you have reached a dead end, you cannot find it, then you have reached a node which is going to be the parent of the element we are going to insert. Okay. So, let us go and the construction is you start with empty, but if it is insertion, you will insert it in an already existing binary search tree. So, you are going to treat both as same. So, let us look at insertion. The algorithm is as such: perform search for the value x first. Now, search will end at node y if x is not there. Okay. It is not in the tree, it will end at another node y. If x is less than y, insert the new leaf as the left subtree for y. If x is greater than y, you insert it as the right subtree, and this is the algorithm. So, what we are doing is, the algorithm is this: you search for x. Okay. Now, when you search for x, you will end up at a node y if it is not present. If it is present, you will find that it is there, and we assume duplicate nodes are not there. So, as I already told you in the previous module, if it is there also, we can insert it as a right subtree. We will not talk about that, generally we will talk. So, we will assume that the node is not there. So, you have reached a dead end. So, you have reached y. So, if x is less, so that means this is the parent to which I have to add x. If x is less than y, you add it as the left subtree. If x is greater than y, you add it as the right subtree. So, this takes approximately of the order of log h operation for binary balanced tree and insertions, but it is not necessary that insertion will always produce a balanced tree. It can produce a unbalanced tree also. So, we will see about that. So, let us look at the BST operations of insertion in detail. So, place a new item near the frontier of the binary search tree while you are retaining the organization of the tree. So, what you are actually doing is you are trying to find a frontier, that is a dead end where you can add the element. So, starting at the root, it probes down the tree till you find a node whose left or right child is empty, and it is a logical place for adding the new value. So, that is what you try to do, and it uses a binary search to locate the insertion point. Okay. and it is based on the comparisons of the new item and the values of the nodes in the BST. So, it depends on that comparison operations, and of course, for this to happen, a binary search tree insertion, you cannot compare apple and apricot. So, you have the elements have to be comparable. Only if they are comparable, then you say that it is a binary search tree. So, that is one, the organization of a data can happen in lexicographic or numerical order only if it is comparable. So, let us look at the operations. So, let us start with case 1. The case 1 is the tree is empty. So, what you do? You just you make the new you create a new node root containing the item that you have to insert, that is create a node root node with a new key, that is the first case. Now, the next case, this is the tree is not empty. Now, what you do? You compare the key, that is the key you want to insert with the top node that you have, and if the key is less than the key of that node, then you replace the node with a new value. Okay. Now, else if the key is greater than the node key node is first case is if the node is equal to the node key, then you replace the node with the new value, that is if you want to insert replace, this is a replace case. Otherwise, if the key is greater than the node key, you compare the key with the right subtree. If the it is empty, then you create a leaf node and add the key as the right subtree. Otherwise, if the key is less than the node key, you go to the left subtree, and then if that is empty, you create it as a leaf node, else add the key to the left subtree where you will be recursively calling. So, when you add the key to the right subtree or add the key to the left subtree, you are recursively calling the algorithm again and again. So, this is the basic operations of insertion. Now, let us trace this. So, first we have a new node 19, then now let us, that is if the tree is empty. Now, a new node we are getting, we want to insert 19. Now, it is the 19 is less than the root node 23. So, you go to the left subtree, and in the left subtree you go to 14. You go to 14, you find that the new node 19 is greater than the root 14 at the right, and the right subtree is empty. So, what you do? You just add 19 there. Okay. So, that is the idea here. So, the 19 has been added. So, this is the if it is empty. So, first what you do? You start with the root, go to the left subtree because 19 is less than 23, then you come to 14, you find that 19 is greater than 14. So, now you know that you have to search in the right subtree of 14, you find that it is empty. So, you have reached the parent now is 14, that parent that you have. Now, you have to attach the new node as a child, right child to 14. So, that is what you have done here. Now, let us talk about consertion and insertion of a binary search tree. So, let us assume the elements that we are getting are in this order. Now, please note again, I just want to stress this point that if the elements are given in a different order, the same elements, you get a different binary search tree. So, the binary search tree is constructed according to the order in which the elements are given to the construction process. So, that you must remember. So, now we are given the elements as 23, 67, 14, 89, 34, 7, 90 and 12. If you had given it in some other order, probably we will form another tree. Okay. We will form another tree. Now, let us start. So, the first element that we have is 23. So, the tree is empty, you create a new node with a new key 23. So, that is the first step. Now, you have 67. So, what we do is 67 is you go to the tree, you find that the you find that the tree is not empty. So, you compare the key with the top node which is 23. Now, key is greater than the that node. So, you compare the key with the right subtree. Now, if the right subtree is empty, you create a leaf node and add 67 there. So, that is what we have done. Now, we get 14. So, key 14 is less than 23, and you compare the key with the left subtree is empty. So, create a leaf node. So, we are finished with 14. Now, what we are having is 89. Now, 89 is great. We always start with the top of the tree. So, we compare 89 with 23, okay, and then we go to the right subtree. And then it is not empty. So, you have to add it to the right subtree. So, what you do, the right subtree is you will compare 89 with 67 and you find that it is greater. So, you go to the right subtree. Now, you find that the right subtree is empty. So, you add 89 there. So, you have finished up to 89. The next is 34. Now, when I get 34, 34 is greater than the node key, the root node 23. So, you go to the right subtree. When you go to the right subtree, you find that it is not empty, you have 67 there. So, you compare 14 with 67 and you find that 14 is less than 67. So, you go to the left subtree, you find the left subtree is empty. So, you add 14 to the left as the left child of the parent 67. So, that is what you have done here. Now, next you have 7. Now, you go to 7, you find that you start with the root node again. So, you compare 7 with 23, you find that 7 is less than 23. So, you come to the left subtree, it is not empty. So, you compare it with the root of the left subtree. So, you compare 7 with 14 and you find that 7 is less than. So, you go to the left subtree. Now, when the left subtree is empty, so now you have located the parent as 14. So, you add 7 as the left child of 14, the parent. So, that is up to 14, I am sorry 7. Next you have 90. So, 90 what we have, you start with 23 again, you find that 90 is greater than 23. So, you go to the right subtree, the right subtree is not empty, it has 67 as the child, I mean as the root. So, you compare 90 with 67, so you find that 90 is greater than 67. So, you go to the right subtree, again it is not empty, it has a root node of that subtree has a node as 89, root node. So, you compare 90 with 89, you find that it is greater. So, to go to the right subtree. Now, the right subtree is empty. So, you have found the parent as 89. So, you add 90 as the right child of the parent 89. So, you have come up to 89. Now, you have the last node that we want to add, which is 12. So, here again you compare 12 with 23, you find that it is less. So, go to the left subtree, the left subtree is not empty, it is rooted at 14 now. So, you compare 12 with 14, you find that it is lesser than. So, you go to the left subtree of 14, that is rooted at 7, it is not empty. So, you compare 12 with 7, you find that 12 is greater than 7. So, you go to the right subtree of 7, which you find is empty. So, now you have located the parent as 7. So, you attach 12 as the right child of 7, and so that completes the insertion process. Okay. So, you will see that as we add 23, 67, 14, 89, 34, 7, 90, 12, the order in which you have given these elements determines the structure of the binary search tree. If you have changed the order, you would get a different binary search tree. In fact, if you give it in ascending and descending order, you would get a skewed tree also. So, this is the construction insertion of a binary search tree. Now, let us look at analysis of insertion. Initialization will take of the order of 1, that is creating a node and all that. Then searching for this will take of the order of h, where h is the height of the tree, and again insertion of the value will take of the order of n. So, the total of the order of h is the time to insert a node. So, it depends on the height of the tree. Okay. Now, we go to removing from a binary search tree or deletion from a binary search tree, that is the next thing that we will go for. Here remember, when I am removing a node, I cannot just remove the node, I have to maintain the organization of the data in the binary search tree. So, that is why removing from a binary search tree is a little bit of a challenge. So, let us look at how it is. So, removing an entry whose node is a leaf, okay, it means removing a leaf. Removing an entry whose node has only one child, whose parent has only, it has only one child. The element you want to add, remove has one child, or it has two children. So, these are the cases, that is, I have a node, it does not have any children, then it has only one child or it has two children. That is the only possibility in a binary tree according to the binary tree property, right. So, removing an entry at the root is also possible. So, you can have two types of implementation, a recursive implementation as well as an iterative implementation. So, this is basically it. If you look at the cases, we will go into detail later, but basically removing an element which is a leaf, removing an element which has one child, removing an element which has two children, or removing the root. So, these are the four possibilities. So, now let us look at the deletion in detail. If the node being deleted is a terminal node, it is a leaf node, then deletion is a straightforward procedure. You just make the parent point to null. You do not have to do anything, just remove that. So, how do you remove it from the parent? Just make that parent, instead of pointing to this node, make it null. If the node being deleted has only one child, okay, then the parent node will have to point to the child of the node being deleted. Now, so what I have is, it is like saying I have only one child, the node is being deleted, I have one child and I have my parent. So, now what I am doing is, I am being deleted, I give the responsibility of my child to the parent, in other words. So, if a node being deleted has one child, the parent node will have to point to the child of the node being deleted. Now, if you remember in the previous module, we have spoken a little bit of having a representation or where we had also a pointer to the parent. This is the reason why we had that, but we do not have to have that, we can maintain some pointers and do it. Okay. Now, if the node being deleted has both the children, then comes the issue. So, here we have to find the in-order successor. Okay. Actually, just remember, we will talk everything in terms of in-order successor, but it could also have been in-order predecessor, but here we will talk in terms of in-order successor. So, what I have a node to be deleted, it has 2 children. So, what I have to first do is find this node's in-order successor, okay, and then replace this node by the in-order successor. Now, the property of in-order successor tells me that it can never have a left child. If it had a left child, it would have been that would have been the in-order successor. So, if it will never have a left child, it can have a right child, need not have a right child. That means, the removing of the in-order successor results in the case of no children, it is a leaf, or one child. So, that is easy to do. So, I will repeat again. What we have is, if a node has to be deleted, then first thing we have to do is find its in-order successor. Then you have to delete that in-order successor and replace the node that is being deleted with the in-order successor, right. Now, to delete this in-order successor, we follow the same deletion procedure. So, if you have to delete the in-order successor, you have to delete that, no. So, there can be different cases. Now, as per the definition of in-order successor, it can never have a left subchild. So, the only thing it can have is a right subchild, or it need not have a right subchild. If it does not have, that means it can be a leaf. If it is a leaf, just remove it. If it has a right subchild, then you follow the case where you have one child. So, attach it to the in-order successor's parent. So, that is what we are going to do. This is the basic deletion algorithm. Remember, instead of in-order successor, I could have had in-order predecessor also. We will talk in terms of in-order successor. So, again the time to delete a node is of the order of h, where h is the height of the tree. So, let us take the operation. Removes what does the removal do or deletion do? It removes a specified item from the binary search tree and adjusts the tree accordingly. Okay. So, it is uses first, of course, as in insertion we have to first find the node. If you want to delete it, you have to find it. So, it uses a binary search to locate the target item. Again, for this it starts at the root node, it probes down the tree till it finds the target or reaches a dead end. If it reaches a dead end here, that means the node that you want to delete is not in the tree, you cannot do the deletion. So, that is also there here. So, the removal or not must not leave a gap in the tree, that is our point. So, we have to adjust the tree accordingly, so that it still retains the binary search tree property. So, let us look at the pseudocode for this. The method is remove key. If it is an empty tree, then you cannot remove, so it is false. Now, you attempt to locate the node containing the target using the binary search algorithm, that is how we did it previously. If the target is not found, then you return false, that means you cannot delete it, else a target is found, you have to remove the node. So, if you have to remove the node, if the node has 2 empty subtrees, you replace the link in the parent to be null. We have discussed this again, we are just summarizing it. If the node has the left and right subtree, we have taken the third case first, replace the node's value with the maximum value in the left subtree. Okay. That means the in order in the left subtree, here he is considering the predecessor, in order predecessor. Delete the node in the left subtree. So, otherwise it will come in the right subtree. So, I am just telling both cases. If the node has no left child, link the parent of the node to the right subtree, and if the node has no right child, link the parent of the target to the left subtree. Okay. So, these are the 4 cases. We have told it in a slightly different way, 2 ways. One, instead of 3 cases, we took 4 cases, we discussed it at 4 cases. Case 1, no children, case 2, 2 children, case 3, 1 left child, okay. I mean sorry, has no left child, only right child, has no right child, only left child. This is one child, so you just attach it to the parent. And instead of considering in-order successor, we considered in-order predecessor. In-order successor, the successor would be in the right subtree. In-order predecessor, remember what is the definition of in-order successor and in-order predecessor? In-order successor, the minimum value in the right subtree, in-order predecessor, maximum value in the left subtree. So, you could do either way, you can replace in the deletion is no both cases you will still maintain the binary search property. Now, let us take tree delete t comma x. Case 1, if the node x, if the node x has no children, then you remove x, the node to be deleted as no children, and all we need to do is just delete the node. So, that is it. In case 2, if x has one child, then you have to make the parent of x point to the child. If the x has one child, then what you have to do is you have to make the parent of x point to instead of pointing to the x, it has to point to the child of x. Okay. So, that is the idea of case 2. Then you have case 3, it has 2 children. Then what you have to do is you have to swap x or replace x with the in order successor. We are coming back to successor. So, when you do that, you will end up with the case of either 0 children or 1 child. The in order successor can never have left child, as I told you. So, it can have maximum only one right child. So, both are the simple cases. So, you do the deletion there, and then you know the node is to be deleted, has 2 subtrees. It is possible to delete a node from that, but the result should leave the tree still in the proper way, proper organization. So, instead of deleting the node, what you do is you maintain the property by replacing it with the in order successor. We can find the largest node in the deleted node is a left subtree and move that to replace this, or you can, that is the in order predecessor, or you can find the smallest node on the right subtree and replace that, that is the in order successor. Okay. Either of these moves, either the in order predecessor or the in order successor will still retain the property of the binary search primary search tree. So, now let us take an example. So, first one is a case 1. Case 1 means we want to delete a node which does not have any children, no children. So, here we want to delete the node 34. So, the 34 does not have any children. So, what you do, you delete the node 34. Only thing is 67, the parent of 34 would have been pointing to 34. Now, you make 64's left child, in this case left child, point to 34, I am sorry, point to null. Now, here first to find 34 you have to do a search, that we are not telling in this case, okay, we are not showing it in this case. So, just remove it, that is fine. Now, we go to the second case. The case here is the deletion of a node with one child. In this case, it has a we want to delete 12, it has a left child 10. Okay. So, that is what we want to do. This is a case that is it. One child it has, and that child is a left child. So, what do we do? We resort to the parent. So, what we do, 7 would have been pointing to 10, right child, right pointer of 7 would have been pointing to 12. Now, we do not want it to point to 12, we are removing 12. So, what we do, we make now the child of 12, which is 10. So, now 7 will now point to 10 instead of 12. So, 12 goes out of the picture. So, this is what will happen, it will point to 10. So, after the left child, the node is put as the right child of 7, okay, parent of the 12. So, this is the second case example. Now, we will see the second case itself, where we have only one child, but the child that exists there was left child, the previous case. Here we are assuming right child. So, actually there is not much of a difference between the what we do, but just to show you the case. So, deletion of a node with one child, here the right child. So, the right child here is 90, I mean we want to delete 90, and the child that exists is 99. So, what do we have to do? We have to attach 99 as to the parent of 90, which is 89. So, that is what is being done here. So, attach the right child 99 to the node's parent as its right child in this case. So, you get 99. So, this is the 2. So, what we have seen with no children, one left child, one right child. Now, we go to the next case, which is deletion of a node with 2 children. Okay. So, in this case we want to delete 67. So, 67 has a left subtree, left child as well as a right child, left subtree and right subtree. So, this is the case, the third case. Now, what we have to do is first we have to find the, so for doing this we have to find the in order successor of 67. So, the in order successor of 67 is 81. So, what we do, we replace 67 with 81. Now, to do that we have to delete 81. Now, in this particular case 81 does not have any children, okay, it is a case 1 of deletion where no children. So, what do we have to do? We just have to change 89's the parent of 81, that is in order successor is 81. We have to change the parent of 81, that is 89 now to point to null. So, that means we have deleted 81 and then we replace 67 with 81. Now, the property of in order successor is 81 can have only one child and that will be a right child, that is the property of in order successor. Okay. Here it does not have any children. Now, instead of this example we could have used also where 81 had a right child, it could have happened. For example, 81 had some 86 as a right child. In that case the 86 has to be attached to 81, that comes the case 1 of deletion where the 81 the in order successor has one child. So, that also could have been done, but the replacement remains the same, 81 replaces 67. Okay. That is the case 3b, which we have not shown in the figure, but that is it. So, here we have the summary of this module is we have illustrated the different types of binary search traversals with examples. Here what was different is we had the pre-order, the post-order, in-order traversals, but in addition to that we had the right-left traversals where why did we in-order traversals? Why did we do that? If we did the normal in-order traversals, you will get the elements in ascending order. When you do right-left in-order traversal, we will get the elements in descending order. For that reason, we just illustrated these traversals. And then we discussed the construction of a binary search tree and binary search trees in general, how we start with empty tree and start the construction. And then we discussed insertion, but insertion and the constructions are same in the sense that construction first node alone it is a construction, after that it is insertion into the constructed tree. So, construction and insertion are explained together. Then we had the interesting deletion operation where we had the in order successor replacing the deleted node and then the cases in case that it had 2 children. If it had one child, no children, no problem. If it had one child, we give the parent the responsibility. If it had 2 children, we give the in order successor the responsibility of the node. So, with that we have discussed the binary search tree. We will go into special cases of binary search trees as we go along in this course. Okay. Thank you.